Welcome back to another episode of 1834 Restoration House. Last week, we ripped out the old gold carpet.
Yes.
We cut it up. We took it outside. It's stacked up on the porch right now. We're waiting for the garbage people to come and take it away. But in this week's episode, we're going to pick up where we left off. This room here that we're standing in has tack strips in it. It has staples, and it's really dirty. So we're going to come and take all that out, clean it up. And the stairs, I don't know if you can see from here, but the stairs, they still have foam and they have tack strips. So we're going to work on that as well and get that cleaned up.
Before I take out the staples and the nails, I'm going to vacuum up this floor so that I'm not sitting in grit and grime. First thing I want to do is the doorway. Since we go through here a lot, I want to take these nails out first. I'm using a pad because I don't want to dent up the floor. Where'd it go? There it is.
The top flight of stairs is done. Come over and check this out. The treads are bare. There's no nails, no staples, no carpet. But look at that rich, dark wood. That is just amazing. One of the best things about these old staircases is they creak a little when you walk on them, and they sound like wood. We've been wondering what it looks like on the landing. So let's peel this up and see how it looks under there. Wow. Look at that old dark wood. That is incredible. Now remember, the Victorians, they loved their dark wood. Well, I didn't expect it to be quite this dark, but that is incredible. You can see as you look across here, we have the dark floor, we have the dark stairs, and right here, where the carpet used to be, is covering up the original dark finish on the sideboard here. So it looks like somebody came along and stripped it and lightened it up. So that's a really interesting find. All right, there's one tack strip out. And we just keep on going. Now, sometimes there are some nails that break out of the tack strips, and those have to be removed. So I use whatever tool is necessary for the job, and it's always different. Sometimes it gets really tight in there, and this works really well for that. I also noticed that at one time there was either quarter round molding or quarter cove molding. I'm not exactly sure which, but when they put the carpet in, they tore those out, and then they took the nails which were sticking out, and instead of pulling them like they should have, they just pounded them down. So here's one right here. I'm going to see if I can get that up. Like that. Now I can come back with my tool, get a hold of it, and just very carefully pop that out of there. Here's another one. There are several staples left behind, so I'm just very gently taking a screwdriver just trying to get underneath that. Oh wait, that's not a staple. That's another one of those nails. They just pounded it down instead of pulling it. There we go. Oh, here's another one. Wow, I don't know who those guys were, but I should have taken these out. There it goes. It's now a Friday morning, and I have the day off from work, so we're going to get a lot more done than we normally do on a 2-day weekend. For those of you who've been watching us for a long time, you may recognize the house right behind me. That's the house that we toured in episode 23. We actually toured this house, the one we bought, and this house on the same day. They were both for sale at the same time by the same owners. It was part of an estate, and so we had the opportunity to tour both at the same time, and we looked at both and we decided this is the one we liked the best, and this is how we ended up with this one. This here is the output from last week's work. A pile of carpet and a pile of carpet pad. So since we have curbside pickup in our village, I'm going to go ahead and take it out there so that the guys will pick it up. I'd like to show you what a difference 60 years makes. This strip of carpet was taken from a doorway. This piece here was under the threshold for 60 years. This is the original gold color carpet that came from the factory. This, on the other hand, was exposed to sunlight, air, people, spills. Look at what the difference is. This was beautiful.
These are a bit too wide and too long to stack them on the side of the road, so we're cutting them. Yes, We finally got it all out of the house. I am so excited, and those floors look gorgeous. But this is a beautiful sight also. They'll come and take it away soon.
Hello? Yes, it is. Yes, sir. Okay, you have the address? That's correct. Yep. Okay, we're looking forward to it. Okay, bye. Wow, we just got an amazing phone call. We've been planning something for a very long time, and this is the day that it's going to happen. Something very exciting, so stay with us. I've been working at this for quite a while now, and I came up with a method that seems to work pretty well. So what I do is I take the crowbar and I look between the two nails right there. I'll put it right down there dead center, and I'll just give it a couple of whacks. And just kind of do like that. And that gets it away from the stair tread. And then I just do like that, work it. Keep going down, and the idea is to get that first nail to pop. And then I come back and do the same thing here. Okay, once I've got that, now I can pull this back a little bit, and I can work here and pop the next one. Ouch. Yeah, they're sharp. And come back and do this one. And again. Sometimes the nails will pull through. As you can see, it's not perfect, and it's going to get marred, and it's not going to be perfect when it comes out. So there's going to be repair no matter what. But the main goal is to get it out of there with the least amount of damage. And the next thing I do is I get a hold of this pad. And pull it out. And then I start going after these staples. I'll just pull them out one by one. I'll do them later. So now that I've got that, I'll come back here and attack the tack strip. Same thing as before. Look for the nails, go right in the middle. A couple of good whacks. Lever it up. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they're going to break. Okay, there we go. It's a mess, but it's on the way. I'm going to go down here now and clean these out, pull all the nails, and then vacuum it up and start on the next tread.
It's here.
Well, here it is, guys. We bought a John Deere compact tractor, and you're probably wondering why. The reason is we tend to buy places with acreage, and acreage takes a long time to mow. You've probably seen the old men out there riding their little mowers. Well, they'll spend hours and hours out there mowing, and I have a full-time job, plus I'm trying to restore a house. I just don't have time to spend hours on grass. Our last house, the 1834 house, we had about a half acre of grass with that. That took me about 2 hours every time I wanted to do it. And I tried going faster, I tried being more efficient. I just couldn't beat the 2-hour time. And plus, being on a small frame machine like that, I was constantly being beat up by rough terrain. And so not only did it take me 2 hours, but I was just completely destroyed after doing that. For a long time, we wanted to get a 1025R because we thought it would meet our needs. We could mow the grass, we could pick up stuff and move it around. We did a ton of research and we discovered the 1025R, well, yes, it does mow grass, and yes, it does mow grass very well. It kind of falls short in the lifting department. And we found that the 2025R costs just a little bit more. It does have a lot more lift capacity for things that we want to do around here, like we want to regrade the front yard. We want to move bricks and building materials in and out of the back. Well, one thing is for sure, we need to take our woodworking equipment, and they weigh probably around 500 pounds per crate. So we need to make sure we have enough lift capacity to get those things out of the house where they're currently stored and moved out to the workshop that we eventually build. So we just wanted to have that extra amount of horsepower and lifting capacity that a bigger tractor has. And it's not a ridiculous size. I mean, it still fits this property pretty well. The loader can be detached and set aside, and the mower deck, we can also take that off as well. So depending on what it is we want to do at any given time, we can take implements on and off. Okay, I just picked the mower deck off the ground. Now I'm going to lift up the loader. Get that off there. Okay, now let's go forward. Oops. Take off the brake first, of course. There we go. Let's see if we can go now. There we go. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get the mower deck to work. Hey guys, it's a Saturday morning, the day after we took delivery of our new tractor, and I took this around the yard yesterday. Went all the way to the back and went all around it, and it's great. I got this 60-inch wide mower deck, I've got tons of power, and it made fast work out of a tough job, but we have a problem. The trees are overgrown to the point where they keep snagging on this thing here. This is called a ROPS, or rollover protection system, and it's basically here that if the tractor should flip, it'll prevent it from rolling over on top of me. and it's a real lifesaver. But the problem is it catches those tree branches and they keep breaking, and literally they break and then they fall on me while I'm working it. That's not fun. I actually had one get kind of snagged up here, and so I was kind of pinned down right here by this branch yesterday. All right, we're going to put a stop to that today. We've got a tree pruner, some saws, and a couple of other tools. We're going to go around the yard and clean this place up, and we're going to use the tractor to help us out.
Could you assist me in holding this still?
Yes.
It bounces.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have a lot of deadfall here that needs to be removed. We just can't get the tractor all the way around the property because of this stuff, so we're taking it out.
Move that piece.
Okay.
Halfway.
There we go. Now, will this fit in the bucket? Probably not. This is the joys of living in the country. We're fortunate enough to live in a village that picks this stuff up.
Good job. Not only is this a great mower, but it helps lifting loads. I'm loving this. This is fantastic. Now that we got it filled, I'm gonna go dump it, come back, and you know how many footsteps that's gonna save me? A whole lot. I love having a tractor. Got it.
Oh.
Ooh, yes, I did.
Yep.
Stop.
That's why we set the brake.
Neutral, yes. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Not going. Okay. Not going. That's... I gotta get it out of neutral.
Yep. You did it again.
I did.
Go low range. There you go. Try it out.
Try that. Okay. Yeah.
Operator error. Well, this tractor is amazing. So we've hauled out several loads of branches from here. We cut them up, put them in the bucket, and then took them up front. So we're going to take you through one process and one load here. It's been a while since this area was cleaned out. It's good to pick this stuff up and not leave it laying around because it invites termites. All of that outdoor work was so exhausting. It was hot, it was humid, and thankfully the sun wasn't blasting down on us, but it was a lot of work, hard work, which is good. We love hard work. And it looks so good out there. We might take the camera back out and show you what we did. Unfortunately, partway through that, we discovered we left the camera turned on, and so it ran the battery out, and a lot of things didn't get recorded. But here we are back at the staircase, and I've been working a bit, taking some of these off, and I'm down to the last staircase tread. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these off now. And now the pad. Yes, filthy. Okay, let's get the staples out. Now we can find out where the nails and staples are that I missed, because there's always a few. Here's one. And another nail. And another one. It seems like there's no end to these things, but eventually they're all gone. So now it's time to take this room here and get rid of the tack strips in there. And by the way, it's kind of funny. We had all of our carpet strips and our padding stacked up outside, waiting for the trash to come pick it up. Some guy pulled up and stopped, and he got out of his car and he took all of the carpet pad and put it in the back of his car and then left. Time to get the tack strips out of the main hallway. Wow, that one's stubborn. Whew. Yeah, that one did not want to come off. These are still exactly the same today as they were 60 years ago. at that, an old telephone jack. It used to be painted the same color as the woodwork, but you can see where there's some paint remover, paint stripper, took the paint right off of it. All right, let's make sure all the nails come out. Okay, that takes care of that one. A lot of times I can just jam it up in there and it pops right out. Like this one. Well, that is the longest tack strip I pulled out yet. We've been busy all morning trimming up trees because we need to be able to get the tractor in to mow the grass, and a lot of the limbs were too low, so we've been trimming those up and getting those taken out to the front.
It was raining most of the morning, so we couldn't video that part.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But it's finally cleared up some, so
Yep.
we can video this.
But this tractor has been such a huge help.
Oh my, yes.
If we had to take this all the way up to the street, just a ways up there, if we had to do that with every single one of these, just imagine how long it would take and how much work it would be.
You want to use that other thing to get that branch here? Oops.
Yep.
There you go.
This is called a pole saw, and it's really handy for cutting limbs in high places. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it right about here.
Alrighty.
Oh. Why did that break?
I don't know, but it did.
Weird. This is one of our crepe myrtles. We have several of them here. This limb hangs down and we can't drive the tractor underneath it, which means we can't mow the grass. So I'm going to have to trim a little bit. So I'm going to take my pole saw. And the next thing I do is I start looking at it to figure out where the best place to cut would be. Now if I cut right here, that would get rid of this, but that would remain. So I could take off this piece here and get rid of that, and I could cut here as well and get rid of that and leave this piece here, which would be a nice way to keep the canopy out there. So let's give that a shot. One of the nice things about this is it has a cutter. So if you've ever seen people pull on the string, let me show you what that's all about. Right here is a limb cutter. So what I do is I hook it over the limb like that, and then I pull the cord, and that brings down a very sharp knife. And it sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't, but it just cuts it right off like that. And it only works on skinny branches. Anything that is very thick doesn't work with. But that's why we have this, so I can reach way up there and I can actually saw something off. Okay, that achieved the goal. This is now high enough that I can drive the tractor underneath it, but still maintains that beautiful canopy that hangs out there. So whenever we cut, we always want to look at the shape of the tree and decide how is it going to affect the shape of the tree and the look of the tree. So rather than cutting indiscriminately, look carefully. Think about where you can make a cut that'll achieve your goal without removing too much.
Now let's give you a tour of what we've gotten done so far. This enclosure is definitely going to be going away. Half of it, if you can see right down the middle of it, half of it's on the neighbor's side. So we have to wait until they come back before we can start tearing this apart. That way, I'm sure they want it out, but you never know. You never know, so it's best to ask. We trimmed up some of these branches so we can get near that. We cleaned up a bunch of dead logs and such over there. We trimmed this up so we could get in here. This poor tree is getting overtaken by vines. So it'll probably have to go. Hey, and look what we found in there. It was buried. Pretty cute. Then over here, we cleaned up all of this stuff. So in here, there was a whole bunch of dead limbs and broken branches. We got those all cleaned up. We do want to get all of this plant life out of there and clean up all of the leaves and such that we could get grass to grow hopefully in here, because we do get a bit of light in there. So that would be nice to have some grass in there. The trees, we definitely want to keep those. So all along here, we picked up a bunch of broken branches, and you can see kind of where the tire tracks are. It's pretty soft ground out here. So we cleaned up all of that. Now our property goes back there probably another acre or so. It's quite long, but we can't really get to a lot of it because it's overgrown. So this side, we did a whole bunch, again, picking up all the broken branches, and we trimmed up some of the bushes as well. Got that all cleaned up. Somewhere in this bunch of bush is the border for our property. I'm not sure exactly where, but it's in there. There's a neighbor's barn. And we cleaned up some of these branches so that we could get close to the tree without hurting the tree. Then over here, we cleaned up some of this. There was a bunch of branches that were really hanging low. So we can get in here to, it's not vacuum. I always say that. Why do I say vacuum? I'm used to vacuuming, not mowing the yard. Mike usually does that, so. He can get the tractor in here to mow this. This is all trimmed down. And then we come back over here.
This tree right here is in a really bad location. It's too close to the lawn, and it has branches sticking out, and there's no way that we can get the tractor mower through here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and that will open this up. Eventually we'll take this tree completely out. But for now, let's see what we can do with the limbs.
Never mind.
You got it.
We got it.
We are good.
Yes.
Now, we can get through there. It is so hot here today. I mean, the temperature is not that bad, but the humidity is really thick. And so your sweat doesn't evaporate, which makes it feel hotter than it really is. So anyway, if anybody could send us a nice stiff breeze right now, we would really appreciate it. Those of you who've been watching for a long time will remember the mystery structure. Back in here, it's brick and it has wooden doors on it. Nobody knows what it is. Well, today we're going to try to unearth this thing. We have this big bush in the way, and we're going to start chopping this out and see if we can gain access to it. Well, there it is, starting to emerge from all the brush. We call it the mystery structure because we have no idea what it is. We've talked to people in the area. Nobody here seems to know what it was either. I think we're going to get to the bottom of it eventually, but first we have to get access to it so we can really see what it's doing. I'm looking through the brush here and I see what looks to be a galvanized square pan at the top, but I'm not exactly sure. And then way back in there, it looks like almost a tank maybe, or a basin. I can't really tell for sure, but we're going to keep chopping away at this thing and see if we can get closer.
Well, it is almost supper time on the third day of our weekend, and wow, are we tired. We are worn out. It's hot, it's muggy, and we have gotten a lot done. We are so thrilled with the amount of work we got done on this yard and getting all the tack strips off of the stairs. We got all that done. And the hallway, we're still working a little bit on that tack strip, is almost done. Then we'll get that cleaned up. So I guess this mystery is gonna have to wait for a little bit longer. We'll catch it back on the next episode. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you on the next video.